Data Analytics 0 to Hero, Video 1, Variables, Data Types, and Operators. Welcome to the first video in a full 30-part series taking you from zero to a job-ready data analyst, entirely in Python. This video covers the absolute foundation, variables, the core data types, and the operators you'll use in every single video that follows. No prior programming experience needed. Let's jump straight in. Running the cell now. Before you start, install Python 3 from python.org, checking add python.exe to path on Windows, then install VS Code from code.visualstudio.com with its Python and Jupyter extensions. Open the command palette with Ctrl or Command plus Shift plus P, run Create, New Jupyter Notebook, and select your Python interpreter as the kernel. Running the cell now. Once your kernel is selected, you're ready to go. And if you want the rest of this 30-video series to land in your feed automatically, subscribing now is the move. Let's write some code. Part 1, Variables. Running the cell now. A variable is just a name that points to a value. Here we store the number 28 under the name age, using a single equal sign. Printing it shows the value it currently holds. Running the cell now. Here, we assign the value 28 to the variable age and then print it. This shows how variables store data that can be easily accessed and reused in your code. Notice that the output matches the assigned value, reinforcing the concept of variables as containers for information. Variables can be reassigned at any time. Setting age again simply replaces the old value. Printing it now shows the new value, the old 28 is gone. Running the cell now. Here, the code assigns the value 29 to the variable *age* and then prints it. Notice how the output directly shows the number stored in *age*, demonstrating how variables hold and display data in Python. This basic example highlights the core concept of variables as containers for values. Python variable names can use letters, digits, and underscores, but can't start with a digit and can't be one of Python's reserved words, like for or if. Naming rules. Running the cell now. Snake underscore case, all lowercase with underscores between words, is the standard Python naming convention for variables. A second variable, following the same convention. Print can take multiple values separated by commas. It prints them all on one line, separated by spaces. Running the cell now. This output shows how variables can store text values, allowing us to combine and print them together. Notice how the code uses simple variable names following naming rules, lowercase letters and underscores, to clearly represent a person's first and last name. This reinforces the lesson's focus on creating clear, readable variable names. Every value in Python has a type, which determines what you can do with it. The for you'll use constantly are int, float, str, and bool. Part 2, Core Data Types. Running the cell now. An int, a whole number, positive or negative, no decimal point. A float, a number with a decimal point, used whenever you need fractional precision. ASTR, text, wrapped in either single or double quotes, there's no difference between the two. A bool, exactly true or false, always capitalized, used for yes, no, on, off type values. Type reveals an int. Type reveals a float. Type reveals a str. Type reveals a bool. Running the cell now. This output shows the data types of different variables: an integer, int, a float, a string, str, and a boolean, bool. Notice how the type function reveals the core data type behind each value, which is essential for understanding how Python stores and processes different kinds of data in your programs. Int, float, and str convert a value from one type to another whenever the conversion actually makes sense. Converting between types. Running the cell now. A price stored as text, exactly as you'd get it from a web form or a CSV file. Float converts that text into a real number we can do math with. We print the converted value. Now that it's a real number, multiplying it actually works. str does the reverse, converting a number back into text, which lets us join it onto another string with plus. Running the cell now. Here, we've converted the string 19.99 into a numeric float, allowing us to perform arithmetic like doubling the price to 39.98. Notice how converting back to a string lets us concatenate the number with text, producing $19.99. This demonstrates the importance of type conversion for combining and manipulating different data formats in Python. str converts the integer 29 into the text 29 foot. We print the value and confirm its new type is str, not int. Running the cell now. Here, the code converts the integer 29 into a string using the str function, which changes its type to its class str. Notice that while the value still looks like 29, its data type has changed, which is crucial when you need to manipulate or display numeric data as text. This demonstrates the lesson's key concept of converting between types to control how data is handled in your programs. These operators work on numbers exactly the way you'd expect from math class, with two extras, floor division and modulo. Part 3, Arithmetic Operators. Running the cell now. Two numbers to work with. A second number. Plus adds them. Minus subtracts. Star multiplies. A single slash always returns a float, even when the numbers divide evenly. Running the cell now. Here, the output shows the results of applying basic arithmetic operators to the numbers 17 and 5. Notice how addition and subtraction give whole numbers, multiplication scales the value up, and division produces a float, highlighting how Python handles different arithmetic operations. This demonstrates the fundamental use of operators to perform calculations in code. A double slash is floor division, it divides, then rounds down to the nearest whole number. Percent is the modulo operator, it returns the remainder left over after dividing. 17 divided by 5 is 3 remainder 2. Double star raises to a power, 17 squared. Running the cell now. Here, the code demonstrates how integer division, modulus, and exponentiation work with the variables a and b. Notice that a/b returns the quotient without the remainder, 3, a %b gives the remainder, 2, and **2 calculates a squared, 289. This highlights how arithmetic operators can be used for division-related operations and powers in Python. Modulo is one of the most useful, least obvious operators. It's the standard way to check things like is this number even or has exactly 5 items been reached yet. Comparison operators always produce a bool, true or false. Logical operators combine multiple bools together. Part 4, Comparison and Logical Operators. Running the cell now. Two numbers to compare. A second number. Double equals checks for equality. Note this is different from the single equals used for assignment. Not equals checks the opposite. Less than compares size, as expected. Greater than or equal to includes the boundary value itself. Running the cell now. Here, the code uses comparison and logical operators to evaluate relationships between the variables x and y. Notice how each print statement outputs a Boolean value reflecting the condition x is not equal to y, true, x is less than y, true, and x is greater than or equal to 10, true. This demonstrates how these operators help us make decisions based on variable values in our programs. A first Boolean flag. A second one. And is true only if both sides are true. Here, one side is false, so the whole thing is false. Or is true if at least one side is true. Not simply flips a Boolean to its opposite. Running the cell now. This output demonstrates how logical operators evaluate Boolean values, and returns false because both conditions aren't true, or returns true since at least one condition is true, and not inverts the value of has_id. Notice how these operators allow you to combine and manipulate conditions, which is essential for making decisions in your code. And, or, and not are how you'll build every meaningful condition in the rest of this series, especially once we get into filtering real data with pandas. An f-string lets you embed variables directly inside text, which is far more readable than gluing strings together with plus. Part 5, Formatting output with f-strings. Running the cell now. A name to embed. A score with several decimal places. Putting an f right before the opening quote turns on f-string mode, anything inside curly braces gets evaluated and inserted directly into the text. Adding a 0.1 f right after a variable inside the braces formats it to exactly one decimal place, which is enormously useful for clean, readable output. Running the cell now. Here, the first print statement shows the raw score with all decimal places, while the second uses an f-string format specifier to round the score to one decimal place. This illustrates how f-strings let us control output formatting cleanly and precisely, making the displayed data easier to read and more professional looking. A raw revenue figure. Combining a comma for 1,000 separator with 0.2 f for 2 decimal places produces properly formatted currency. This exact pattern shows up constantly once we start working with real business data. Running the cell now. Here, the f-string formats the revenue value to include commas as 1,000 separators and limits it to 2 decimal places, making the output more readable and professional. Notice how :,0.2f controls the number formatting. This is essential for presenting financial data clearly. This example highlights how f-strings help customize output formatting to improve clarity in reports or dashboards. We covered a lot, so let's recap. Wrap up what you learned. Variables, creating them, reassigning them, and Python snake_case naming convention. The 4 core data types, int, float, str, and bool, plus converting between them. Arithmetic operators, including floor division and modulo. Comparison operators, which always return a bool, and the and, or, not logical operators. F-strings for embedding variables in text, with precise number formatting. Everything here is the vocabulary the rest of this 30-video series is written in. Subscribe so video 2, on control flow, lands in your feed next. See you there. Running the cell now.